Thanks for joining me. This is Danny, and welcome back to my RealTech series. Today we're going to be upgrading our steel production. So in the last episode, we used a lot of steel for the project that we were working on, and it took a really long time because we are still using the crude blast furnace along with the regular coke oven, which are extremely slow. So we are going to upgrade these today to be faster, and we're also going to set them up for automation. So these right now, we have to pull the coke, we have to manually put the coke in there, we have to manually pull the coke out, and we have to put it in here and manually put it in our iron, and then manually pull out our steel ingots. And obviously that's not ideal. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up so this is our drop chest for our ore doubling. I think I'm going to set it up so that we use the same drop chest, and we're going to put iron in there and coal, and it's going to bring us back steel and put that in our output chest here. I may end up moving them. We'll see how that works out. But the basic idea is that we're going to drop in the raw materials, coal and iron, and we're going to get back steel. And we're not going to have to do all that manual screwing around. And it'll also be much faster because we are not only going to upgrade these, but we're going to add preheaters to them as well. Which will make them go even faster. So the first thing we're going to do is tear down our existing blast furnace and coke ovens. And I'm going to move this. Oh, crap. That's going to fill up my inventory. Move that out of the way because we're going to need that space. So we're going to be requiring a 3x5 space now instead of just a 3x3 space. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 27 steel, and we're going to flatten them into steel plates, and then we are going to combine those steel plates with our blast bricks. Okay. This way. And that is going to make reinforced blast bricks. So with our 27 reinforced blast bricks, we're going to do the exact same thing we do with the regular blast brick, and that is we're going to just make a boring old 3x3x3, but when we construct this guy, it's going to look a little bit more interesting than the other one. Are we going to interfere with that? We probably will eventually. So this one we've done in the past. We did this in season 1. The new coke oven is actually, the upgraded coke oven is actually a new thing. Oh, and then we need to throw a hopper on top of that. Okay, so hopper up there, and then I'm going to replace these bricks, and then we take our hammer, get it right in the middle, and there it is. Hooray, our improved blast furnace. Just like the other one, we can right click on this and start it up that way. Actually, I'm not going to yet because we don't have a chimney hooked up to it. But we can automatically input into the top, so we can use a hopper up there, or we can drop stuff in. It's going to output here to the front, so we can put a chest there or conveyor belts, and then the sides, these is where we put our preheaters, and then back here is where the slag is going to be output. So here's the improved blast furnace without any preheaters on it. I'm going to put some stuff in there, and there it goes. So you can see by the progress bar here and that progress bar that it is definitely faster than the regular one. So now we're actually going to need to wait for a few more steel. We need 11 more steel. Yeah, we're going to need 27 more steel, and then we can do the same thing to the coke oven. I'm ready to make the advanced coke oven. Now this is a little bit different than the blast furnace. In fact, it's almost infuriatingly different, because you might think that you're just going to take 27 steel and flatten them, just like we did with that. If you do, you'll end up wasting your steel. We need 30 steel for this. Technically, we really only need 27, but we have to make 9 steel sheet metal, and they come in pairs of 4. So that means we have to make 12. So we're going to end up with 3 extra sheet metal, and then we're going to take 18 coke bricks. So we're going to end up with 9 extra coke bricks, and we are going to combine those like so with that. And then this will also actually need a hopper on top, which I haven't made yet. I moved this, I turned it that way because there wasn't quite enough room in that corner, so I'm putting these next to each other. So the steel sheet metal, actually we can look in the book of course and see. The steel sheet metal goes in the back, and then we do need a hopper on the top. And then the rest of it is just, the rest of the square, or cube, is all these. But I'm gonna go make a hopper. Okay, so the hopper goes right at the top in the middle. Hopefully we won't interfere with that wire. And ta-da! There we have it. Nice. So we can throw some coal in there and make some, oh, I don't have any here, but we can throw some coal in there. The fluid is going to come out the back, the creosote oil. The coal coke is going to come out the front, the preheaters on the side, and we can put stuff in on the top, but of course we can also just use the GUI to manually do stuff, which of course we're not going to do. But before we set up automation for this, I do want to get the preheaters hooked up. I've made the preheaters. These require quite a bit of copper and iron. Actually, I think it was a good stack of each to make all 4 of these. Before we do this, let's just put this in and see how fast this thing burns a piece of coal. Oh, I don't have the chimneys hooked up. We're going to end up with pollution, but that's fine. So you can see it's a little faster. There's the progress there. It's a little faster than the old furnace. When we add these guys, it's going to be even faster. However, they do require RF, and they will use about 32 RF per tick per preheater. So that's 64 RF per tick. So you have to kind of make the decision of whether or not you're willing to spend RF for more speed, because obviously we can create steel without even using RF otherwise, but in this case we will be using quite a bit of RF. So we're going to need some connectors. Okay, there. Whoa! I did put a hole up here while we're working on this. We're going to be running some conveyor belts up there, but they will be covered. It's actually going to be kind of a part of the floor. I can't climb up this one. That's interesting. I can climb up the coke oven. Wait, I was climbing up this before. That's annoying. There we go. Okay. And now we need some wires. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Nope. Darn it. I'm going to run into that problem with all of these, or most of these. This one can connect there. Okay, so they each have one preheater hooked up to them. So let's see how much faster this is. Oh wow. That's a lot faster, actually, even with just one preheater. Nice. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, cool. Much faster. I'm going to need some more relays. Okay, I've got everything powered, so let's see how fast it is now. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Look at that. It is so much faster. Nice. So we'll be able to make steel quite a bit faster now. And then, of course, this should be much faster too. Yeah. Hooray! All right, let's automate this. All right, so I'm running conveyor belts over there. It's going to be a little bit ugly at first. I'm going to make it pretty, don't worry. Eventually. Once I have some more steel, I'm going to cover these with scaffolding so that they become covered conveyor belts. And they're going to be a part of the floor. So this part of the floor is going to be scaffolding, basically. And there'll be items running through it. We're going to need a couple of item filters. So I've got one set up over here. This is an item router. I have a vertical conveyor belt coming up from it and then going into that one. Now when you look at the bottom of the conveyor belt, it's showing the opposite direction, that it's going on the top, because, you know, it's a belt. It runs all the way around it. So if we look at this from the top, we can see it's running that way. Whee! And if we look at it from the bottom, it looks like it's running that way. So this looks like it's going down. On this side, it's going up. So I've got an item router here. It's pulling from this chest, and then it's going into, or one branch is going into the crusher, and the other branch is going up into this dead end of a conveyor belt. So what we're going to do is we're going to say on the top side, that's T, we're going to accept iron, and we're going to accept coal. Everything else that we put in this chest gets sent to the crusher. Okay, like I said, this is going to be really ugly at first, but I'm putting an item router there and lots of conveyor. And I'm actually going to put a hopper on top of each one of these. Whoops. Just to give it a buffer. And then we're going to do lots of conveyor belts. Now, I would put a block on top of the hopper in order to reduce lag, but then we'd have a block up there, so I don't know. I'll figure something else out there. Okay, so now this stuff is going to end up going into this item router, and the coke oven is down here. So the only thing we want going into the coke oven, obviously, is let's see, that is east. Oops. The only thing we want going here is coal. And then the only thing we want going south is iron. Nothing else should end up on this conveyor belt. If anything else ends up on this conveyor belt, it's going to get stuck right there. But it shouldn't happen. Okay, so I'm going to work backwards from here. That's not going to pull from the hopper, will it? No. Okay. What if there's stuff in the hopper that won't go in there? Okay, good, good, good. All right. So that is done. So we've got the stuff being routed to the machines. Now we have to get the output. Output number one, the coke oven. Of course, we're getting the coke. We're getting the coal coke from here, so we want that to end up in the blast furnace. So that's easy enough. I've got conveyor belts going up, over, and then into that filter that we set up over here, so that we can get it up into the conveyor belts up there. Now this filter, I added coal coke to the south side where we're also going with iron, so that's south, and that way it'll end up in this machine over here. So as soon as there's one in there right now. As soon as I place a conveyor belt here, it should pull it out and then go up that way. There we go. And then it's going to end up coming up here. There it is. Yay! Goes in that hopper and then down into that machine. Nice. So we should have two in here now, actually, because there was one before. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So that's output number one, and then obviously this is going to be output number two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it meet up with this guy. Break this one, and I'm going to replace it with an item router. So this stuff coming out of our crusher is going into these furnaces over here. Obviously, we don't want this stuff to go into the furnace. We want it to go directly into that chest. So what we're going to do is we're going to say stuff going north will be steel and slag. Actually, that'll be it. Steel. Oh, I thought I had slag. And slag. We'll go north. I'm actually also going to add gravel and sand to this too. Because we can make those things in the crusher, and if I do make them in the crusher, I'll want them to go directly into this chest. So now if we throw slag on there, where did it go? I didn't see where that went. Did it go here? Right, so there is 64 and 12. Okay, yeah, it just happened really fast. All right, cool. And then the same with steel. Cool. And if we throw, for instance, some slag in here, because it's not in any filters, it goes into the crusher. And then the crusher is going to crush it into sand. And the sand will continue on. I'm going to have the conveyor belt running up, over, because I don't want it on the floor, obviously. And then down over here. To get these slopes, basically, you have to shift right-click to get it that way. Now that's going the wrong way, so I have to shift right-click again. And there. So now it's going down. Obviously, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I'll have to come up with some way to make this look better. Yeah, having floating conveyor belts isn't the best idea. Okay, so we have a steel ingot in there. I have another vertical conveyor belt here. I'm going to run it that way, and it should pull it out. Yay! And it'll come down here. It'll go through here, and it should pass this way. Yep. Nice. Cool. So that is all set. Now we have to do the same with the slag. So I've run it underground. It still looks a little funky having holes in the floor, but whatever. It's better than the alternative. This... Actually, I can cover that up a little bit more, but okay, so I just need... Alright, whatever. Okay, so I just need to put one more conveyor belt here, and it's going to pull all of the slag out. And it should end up coming up over here. If we watch, we might see it pass, but it's probably... There it is. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so we're all set. So all we have to do, if we want steel, all we have to do is go over here, put in, let's say we want 8 steel. We put in 8 steel, we put in 8 coal. It gets sent. Sent over here. Oh no! Oh no! Whoops! Nope, I screwed up. I screwed up. This guy has to be turned that way. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so let's say we want 8 steel. Go like that. Stand here and watch it pass. Nice. Okay, so that should be going into the coke oven. And then that's going into the blast furnace. Nice. So it's currently being made, and as soon as some coal coke is done, we should see it sent on to the blast furnace. We had a little coal coke in there already, so in fact, I'm going to keep a stack of coal coke in there at all times, so that the iron isn't waiting for the coal coke. So that basically when we give it coal, it'll be replenishing the coal coke that we already have in here. So come on, there must have been one finished by now. Did we miss it? Nope, it's still... Well, that's still slow. It's much faster than it was, but still could be faster. So we should see another one pop in here. Yep, yay! Okay. So it looks like the coal coke is slightly faster than the iron, so maybe we really only need to keep a few in there. But I'm going to keep more in there. Now I'm finding that these guys are producing a much less pollution. In fact, I don't even know if they're producing any at all, and I think that might be because of the preheaters. Oh no, there's some. Okay. So it's producing pollution, but not nearly as much as it was before. Like before, it was... You could stand here for a few seconds and you would see a few of those go up. And since it's doing it faster, that means it's significantly less pollution per unit. Yay, here's the steel. We had 3 in there already. Now we have 11. There's one thing I forgot. I forgot about the creosote oil. So if this creosote oil fills up, obviously this thing's not going to work anymore. So for now, I'm just going to stick a simple fluid tank back here. This is a mod that allows us to make multi-block fluid tanks, and do that. So that'll have a pretty big capacity. Now my plan is eventually to... Okay, so now we have a multi-block fluid tank here, and it's filling up with creosote oil. Hooray! My plan is eventually we're going to set up auto crafting for treated wood using the assembler. And what I want to do is I want to have another one of these tanks out here filled with creosote oil, and then the assembler will be pulling it from that. Of course, we could still use that tank, but I just kind of want to stay with the kind of the immersive engineering stuff for this. So this is a complete build. Look at this. But actually it looks pretty nice too. I think I like these machines a lot better than the ugly square ones. So if we take steel scaffolding and combine it with a conveyor belt, we get this covered conveyor belt. And this cost me most of my steel. And then we can use that in place of these. And what's nice about the covered conveyor belts is that you won't pick up items that are in them. So they work a little bit more like pipes. But they also are nice because then we don't have a big gap in the floor here. So we actually have a full block. So I'm going to break all these and replace them. One last thing I want to do on a somewhat unrelated note is I want to put an external heater on this furnace. This is going to end up displacing most of our pollution to the factory, which is nice because it'll make it easier for us to control in a future episode. So that is the furnace up there. I'm just going to stick the external heater right there. Okay, so I had to place it down one block so I can put the connector on the side of it. And then like so. And now it should be taking power. Yeah, now it's taking power. Now it's probably too far away from the furnace, but let's see. Yep, now it's too far away, so we're going to have to put our furnace kind of in the floor, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's totally in the floor. But now it works, hooray, and look how fast it is. Holy crap. Nice. Yay, and it gets faster too over time, so it's better to smelt like a bunch of stuff at once. So I'm just going to queue up a half a stack right now, and we'll get that going. So here's what's coming up in the near future. We're going to be playing with Pneumaticraft very soon, but I think actually what I want to do next, because we need to get more RF, I think. Our RF, we're producing almost 256 RF per tick. I actually recently upgraded it by adding some thermoelectric generators down below. I'm using uranium as the warm block because that's the warmest block there is, so it helps it produce a little bit more. That's the only use for uranium in this pack, actually. But we need to produce more power. However, most of the large power producers are also large pollution producers. So actually, I think what I want to do next is to build a very, very large greenhouse. One in which we can have a tree farm. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. Is we're going to be getting ready for this ironwood tree farm that we had talked about sometime in the past, which will essentially get us free iron. A very small amount and very slowly, but it'll be just kind of a nice trickle of iron, and then also we'll be getting wood and charcoal out of the deal as well. And fun, and it'll be fun. It'll be a way for us to burn up a lot of pollution and stuff too, because it will be consumed by the growing of the trees. So if you do have any questions or comments or ideas about what we did today, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button and to join me next time and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Bye-bye.